Hi, so for my Anatomy of Peace project, I am going to do a video story. I'm going to mention some relevant points from the book. First of all, I'm going to explain a collusion that occurred to me, in my mind at least, and then I'm going to use the recovery of peace and clarity from the book. So I'm going to go through like the full 4 steps, and I'm going to explain how I applied it. So my mind collusion started when we had everything set up, when we just literally just built the team that we had. So we had goals, but we didn't achieve them as we were expecting to. And I realized that they weren't doing exactly what they were supposed to do during the week. And it was really hard to push them because you can't really push something that is merely voluntarily. And I was just pissed off. I thought that they weren't being responsible. I thought that they were just so passive about it that they didn't care. And I was disappointed because I chose them because I thought they cared. I chose them because I wanted to have good people with me in my team. And I knew that they were going to care. I knew that they were going to do a great job. But they just didn't. I didn't know why. I didn't want to like lose their friendship. I didn't want to just just stop getting in contact with them and just like build a new team. Because sometimes I'm radical like that. But I actually did care about these two people that I was working with. One of them is one of my best friends, and the other one's just a friend. Not a really close one, but I do appreciate her friendship and I respect her a lot for what she does. And so when I realized that I wasn't looking at them like real people that needed my real attention and me going out of my own box, was when I just realized that I have all my negative thoughts being about them and not being about me and what I was doing to help them achieve what they needed to achieve, like the things that they wanted to do, they needed to do. I was just working on my own, I guess, and I was focusing on having them get the things that I asked from them done, and I didn't care like how they did it. I just cared that they would do it because I thought it was simple. Like I thought I gave them simple stuff so I wouldn't worry about how they were doing it or the process of it. And so after reading Anatomy of Peace, and since I am still the Connexionist president, I realized that I was looking at them like means to achieve a goal, and I was also looking at them as obstacles when they weren't doing what they were supposed to, and that is just so mean. I didn't realize that before. I thought that like their commitment and their compromise was supposed to be there, that they just owed me that time, they owed me that responsibility, and that, you know, like since the moment we agreed to work together on this project and give up our time to do it, I thought that we all agreed that we were going to do the right thing and just keep it working, you know. I was the only one doing that for a little while, and so I got disappointed badly, really bad. What I did after reading Anatomy of Peace is that I started talking to them more like people, and I was like, "Hey, how's your week? Do you have new ideas that we can implement? What have you thought? How do you think it is going so far? Do you need help with anything? What struggles have you had before, or like during the process of doing this? And it helped me a lot to be like patient and to also just look at them differently. I think that changed everything because like from the beginning I was frustrated because they weren't working as if they were machines that I bought that were supposed to work in one way. And they weren't. So I wanted to return them, honestly. I even thought of like building a new team and being just like, hey, you're not doing what you told me you would do. I need help, but this is going to keep going, and if you're not here with me, then I'll do it without you. I got to that point at some point, but the more I thought of it after reading Anatomy of Peace, the more I realized that they weren't machines, they weren't objects, they were people. They weren't means to achieve something, and they weren't obstacles to achieve something. They were just people that really wanted to help me, but for some reason, they just weren't doing it as I expected them to do it. Because I'm not saying they didn't do anything during that time. They did, but I just thought that it was like slow or like not enough. And at least not they didn't give me the results that I expected from them. And that wasn't that wasn't great. That wasn't great for me. Um so I have a list. I have a list. So I started by looking at them differently. And I talked to a friend that is not working with me in Connect, and I asked, hey, what do you think they have going on, or how do you think I could do better in leading them and helping them achieve their goals? And she told me a whole new perspective. She was more understanding, she was more comprehensive, and she was also more um intrusive, I want to say, but not in a bad way, but more like caring, more like, hey, they are people, so you gotta take care of them because they are your people, and not only they are trying to do good for you, they are also your friends. So you don't want to mess that. And I was like, dang, you're right. Like I really don't want to mess that. There's a reason why they committed with me to work on this project, and we should definitely just give it a try and make it work. So I I started doing that whenever we had meetings. And the other thing that I started asking them, I used some questions from the book, and that really helped me a lot. So I asked about their challenges, I asked about their trials, their burdens or their pains. I asked about school, how school was going for them, how their families were, um, how their relationships were, and also how they were doing just spiritually, how they were feeling about life. And I was able to also share with them my own struggle with school and life in general. And that was really bonding, and that was really addictive because after that, everything started going better. Our team has grown so much since I started applying this. We actually got 2 mentors that are brand new. We held a mentor training. We also got a new co-president, so I am not the only one the only one president anymore. I have somebody that is my co-president now. And this project is still in process because even though it worked with my 2 VPs, and we're doing better, way better. I want to say great, but of course it's not perfect yet. I'm still working on it. I realized it can be really, what's the word for it? Exigent, um, demanding. That's the word. I am very demanding when it comes to things, to achievements or accomplishments or tasks that I expect from people as a leader. I am very demanding and I am very high standard. So that's not always the best thing. That's what I've learned from Anatomy of Peace. And if anything, I have learned to develop more patience, more understanding, and also more humility, because you gotta be humble to first take off your shoes and try to put someone else's shoes. Um, the reason why I say that my project is still going is because since I got a new co-president, I'm working on keeping my heart at peace with him. Because I know everything is so new to him. It really frustrates me that he doesn't, I don't know, he just like doesn't flow as fast as I do. And he's taking a lot of patience from me. But I am doing it and I'm working on it. I'm doing my best to train him, to give him the opportunity to feel confident and happy about what he does, especially because everything that we do right now is volunteer work, and there really isn't any what's the word, maybe like duty. It's not even a class. So I guess what I'm trying to say is like, oh, holding you. There is not anything that is going to hold them with me working with my team, and they could pretty much give up anytime they'd like. So I have learned to develop more appreciation for what they do and for the fact that they do it with me, that they chose me to be the leader, and that they follow me, and that they respect me, and that they trust me to do my job and to do it good, to do it well. Sorry. Um, so I'm working with my co-president, and yes, my heart wants to go in war a lot of times when I'm with him, and I'm trying to explain why and how, and like when it comes to executive decisions, um, I just I realize the difference between having someone to talk to and having just me making decisions and being like, hey, so I think this is the best way, and then I would just go and talk to my two VPs and that'd be it. But now whenever I want to do something, I want to be like, hey, can you meet? Or like, hey, I've been thinking this. I think this could be good. And then I have to listen to him. So it's been a really interesting experience because although I thought it was going to help me a lot because it was just a lot of work for me by myself. Um, sorry, we learned that too. So that by myself was not great. But so even though it was a lot of work for me, and I thought that having someone else was going to help me, um, definitely having someone else by your side at the same level and position makes it harder in terms of communication, and I want to say speed in making decisions, because whenever I want to decide something and I'm like positive and confident about something, I have to go through him and I have to explain why to him and I have to listen to him. And yeah, I mean, we haven't done everything that I have decided so far. There have been things that were great and that were coming from his ending, and that was awesome. I feel grateful for having the opportunity to read this kind of books, and just like a last point, I want to say that that book has changed the way I see my relationships. It's not only for leadership roles, it's not only for I want to say business or like professional field, but it also is for your social life, for your family life, and it helps you to allow yourself and to just it gives you some space to make mistakes and to correct them, to get out of the box. And once you realize that you are trying to get out of the box, once you realize that you're thinking from inside the box, then everything gets better because you get better at asking questions, you get better at understanding, and you also get better with empathy and respect. And the perception that you have from people was just something amazing that I learned. Whenever I think about someone, the next thing I do now when I have negative feelings about it is what's the way you're looking at them. And so whenever I realized and I find myself thinking of them as means or as obstacles, I correct myself and I'm like, no, you don't do it. Stop. And I stop, literal stop. Like once you tell your mind to stop looking at them like means or objects, um, obstacles, your mind stops. And then you start caring immediately. You start caring about them immediately. And that's just crazy, crazy, but so effective because it works. And this is my project. I am going to send it right now. Thank you. Bye.